Hi, Chelsea.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
So tell me a little bit about you. You have been following the Army of Angels United. Can you tell me how you formed my association in the first place?
Oh my goodness, I was digging and researching other people who are experiencing electronic harassment. I actually am a nurse and
You
I
found
was
me
going through
through
this.
hashtags or
Hashtags.
okay, oh you
Hashtags and
click on specific hashtags?
yeah, electronic torture, um, gosh, targeted individual. I never have heard of the targeted individual community. I had never even heard about this type of harassment, this type of sex trafficking, any of it.
And
So,
how long have you been a targeted individual for you? When did it
um,
start?
well, it started after I came out of a spiritual organization, a solar gazing community. And we had to, unfortunately, it's very embarrassing for me to admit, but it had dealt with the occult, like practicing different um
Repeat that. So
it
you
it
were
dealt
in a
with the
cult?
yeah, it was I was in a cult and they only practiced telepathy and things like telepathy, expansion of our human soul, and then dream manipulation.
Okay,
And
that's
I
very
thought,
interesting, but can you tell me how did you end up being in a cult in the first place? Because I think some people could be very interesting to know how you end up in a cult in the first place. Did it
oh
happen
gosh,
remotely? Did it happen in
remotely.
person? So they come through your mind like a spirit, like
Yeah, they
pretend
they were like, yeah, so
like
you know how like
meditation.
yeah, you know how when you learn about like different spiritual guru, I'll just say spiritual gurus.
What year was that for you?
I'd say it started in about 2023.
Okay, for me it was 2021. Okay.
Yeah. And I thought like, oh, when somebody can do that, then that means that they're really spiritual and they're powerful and they have like special powers we don't normally have. They've awakened different parts of their
So
soul and their
they
mind.
worshipped you. They were like, wow, you're so powerful. You can do so much beautiful things. And then after they started to target you.
So I thought it was cool. We had to build like little spiritual altars and stuff like that. But then it got really creepy when you started getting more and more of the products, and they're like, you need to pray naked in front of your altar with just a
What's
white robe
altar?
on. A spiritual
Pray.
altar, like, when you like make an altar and you put like different gods and goddesses on it and you pray and crystals and stuff like that. Well, we had to do that, and then, but instead of putting like gods and goddesses or whatever different people you want to pay homage to, we had to actually put them on the altar and get on our knees and pray to them. So it just
So
started getting weird.
basically they wanted to use you to worship them.
Worship them. Yes,
They
worship them.
wanted to harvest your energy.
Yes, yes. So then, and we also had to buy things that were like chipped. Like we had to buy tools or whatever, different spiritual artifacts that would glow and like blink and do different stuff. The street lights would start blinking around
So
us.
basically they were giving you commands in your mind
Yes.
on what to
And
do.
we were taught that it was telepathic communication. Now I know it's this whole voice to skull.
V2K is called technology.
V2K.
Yes. So it's
Yeah. So it was all
technological
technology.
harassment, whereas
Yes.
it's real human beings behind the technology and they give
Yes.
you commands on what to do.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's not God.
It's
It's
not God.
satanic, it's terrorism, it's
It's
human
terror.
trafficking.
It's human trafficking. Yeah, exactly. But I didn't know that at the time. I thought it was
Mm.
like I thought I was being attacked by evil spiritual masters and this, that, and the other.
So
And then,
if I can connect to your story, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna
uh-huh.
say because what we're gonna do is just mix our both stories so
Okay.
people could understand how everything is connected. For me,
Yeah.
I did an awakening in 2020, a mass awakening where I
A
actually
spiritual awakening?
yeah, so I
Uh,
purge myself, but you cannot put everything in the same boat. A spiritual awakening stays very good. For me, I let go of my childhood traumas. I was crying. It was beautiful. Unplugging from television, connecting back to myself. Okay,
yeah.
so I was doing meditation. I was stopping to go to parties. I stopped. having sex for 1 year, no sex, no
No,
pornography.
se
Because
yeah,
for me,
I've done that.
my only addiction was sex, was also pornography, and I also had in the past gambling addiction. But
Well,
so I quit on parties, I quit on sex. I actually was training every day for 1 year, crying. I felt so beautiful. This was the most beautiful gift that I ever give to myself. And then
oh,
after I was able to start drawing and being creative, I started uh, to be able to be more confident. And what happened actually is I had a guidance and an alignment, and I was able to now know that I was the observer. That you are not your thoughts, you're not your body, but you are your soul, your consciousness. So I was able to detach of a matrix that has been enslaving me all my life.
I love
So
that.
so it's like, when you have an hangover, you drink too much, and then
Uh-huh.
you don't remember what happened the next day because you were out of your body, or you had a body possession, right? So it's kind of the opposite of that. An awakening is beautiful. It will always be beautiful. The only thing is that those who awaken, artists or those who start creating, there's like what happened to you. They come in the picture and they try to control you. You were obedient to them for a little bit. For me, I was never obedient to them. I refused. And then they started to send me electroshock in 2021. So I received electroshock on my body when they
There's
were not able to control me no more. So the commands that they used to send me were not working anymore. And this is what they do. They punish people that are starting to be the creator of their online. They punish them and they start to be serial killers, terrorists, and then they track you down like if you're a toy, and they follow you
yes,
everywhere that you go.
everywhere.
Like, let's say I left my phone in Canada just to do a test to see if they use the phone to track people. I left my phone in Canada for 3 weeks, three full
Uh-huh.
weeks, no phone. My phone was closed completely, and they were able to track me with the satellite. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, no matter you are. At the end, the only chance for us, and that was the prediction in 2020 and before that I've seen, they will have to deactivate the 5G towers so that this terrorism stops, because they will be able to control the cars and human beings and transform them into killers. This is very dangerous, like a zombie apocalypse. This is what
Yeah,
they do.
they can control your thoughts. They can I
Exactly.
it took me a long time to accept that that was real because I like I said I'm a nurse and I've never heard of anything like this. I thought it was a bunch of whoopla, but now that I've learned about it and also how many people are chipped and have those RFID chips and different things and stuff in their body and how they can be stocked with the satellite and stuff with all this technology,
Yeah,
I've now
microchips.
yep, I the smart dust and all of that and the 5G towers, the satellites. It's I just cry when I think
Like the
about it.
smart dust, I still don't understand how it's possible to create
I don't
something
understand
out
how it's
of thin
possible to be
air.
great either, but it's
It's
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's very, very creepy.
it
There's so much things to say. We really need to have help. There's also my mother, before I planned the podcast with you, she called me and she's like, "Stop doing your association, stop talking about it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, they took my entire life since 5 years. For sure,
exactly,
I'm gonna expose
exactly,
it. I'm gonna save others too. As I speak about my story, I'm gonna
exactly.
save other kids from human trafficking, because, like you said, it happens in your mind. So imagine all of the soldiers that are in their house, obedient to terrorists.
Obedient.
So basically, there's terrorists manipulating their slaves all over the world, and if they're not obedient, then they threaten them on their life. And this is what they did to me. They threatened
Mm.
my life, but I was still willing to risk my life and to tell my story, because this is what we're
Girl,
doing. Both of us, we are both risking our life to talk about it. But
yeah,
what is our choice at the end? Are we gonna pretend it doesn't exist and we stay a slave, or we become a hero and we talk about it?
exactly. Because I'm like, you have to think about the children. I'm like, think about how many kids are,
Because you
those
have kids too,
microphones.
right? Do you have
Right,
kids?
right. And those microphones and those chips are so small. I was like, you don't know how they're going to start controlling children. You don't know what they're going to be doing to children. I'm like, when you learn about how they can implant these little microchips and stuff like that inside of people and they're already being taken out, I was like, they can manipulate your kid to do anything. And if they're young, they're never going to know what thought is theirs and what thought is coming from
Exactly.
right, from the
Yeah, so
technology.
that's why I'm building also a programmation so people could awaken and reconnect to their true self because it's like I think it's the best example so people could understand. It's like a hangover where you black out and you don't remember. It's like if two little
Yeah,
like dots connects in your mind. Um, it's like you know an hangover. It's like if you lose control over yourself. But like an awakening and reprogrammation, it's like if you find yourself again. It's like if it's very hard. It's like if a flip, like a switch flip. Like it's like almost like if you go from on to off or like I don't know how to explain it. It's like an illumination. Suddenly, one day you start laughing and you're like, what's going on? So, all of my life, I was not my thoughts, I was not my body, but I was my soul, my consciousness. And then you become the observer and you're like, whoa, and you regain power over yourself. So,
right.
that's what I'm building and I want to teach people, especially to kids. And this is what I've seen in articles the that we will need to teach kids how to act themselves from potential terrorism
Yeah.
and neurological control.
Yeah,
This is
and not only
very
that's very, very true. And also, what needs to be done is there needs to be more education for people who are actually in the healthcare field so that they know how to properly assess people who are being targeted like us. Like
well.
they.
You're very courageous, by the way, and I want to thank you for speaking up and to join my first podcast. So congratulations,
Oh,
because
thank you.
this is a lot for me too, because I can do a lot of things alone, but if I have people who come on the podcast and they because you're a whistleblower, you
Oh my
are a
gosh,
hero,
yeah.
you are truly a hero, and you're a
Especially to
good
these
example.
cults or these
Yeah,
spiritual
yeah.
organizations that are using the technology to mask and say that they're spiritual masters or
Did
they're
they
like
ever try
gurus.
to pay you
Mhm.
or to offer you money so you
Yes.
don't speak?
Yes, so that's another thing. Even when
Wow.
I literally had almost $10,000 zap into my account, and it was like basically what they did is they try to use that to bribe me to do the electronic sex. They're like,
So
oh,
can you tell me how this happened? Like basically they sent you money out of nowhere?
I literally my bank account would literally when I would get paid it'd be thousands of dollars more than what I was ever supposed to be paid. They would do it, they did it for almost like a year. It wasn't always I got large lump sums of money, but it wasn't always a large lump sum of money. And then what they would do is they would use the V2K and use a dream manipulation. Do you have your dreams manipulated?
Yeah. I can
So,
recognize there's both. There's
yeah.
fake ones. It's like also when they do comments to you, they use also recording of other voices.
Yeah.
But because I had someone saying, I think it's Targeted Justice is an amazing association. I don't know who said
Yeah, I'm
that
on
and
it.
who said who, but basically they're saying like, oh, it's recorded voices, like they use with technology. So don't accuse your neighbor, don't accuse your family members, but the problem is that it is both. It is a mix manipulation of many things, including people in your family, including your neighbor. Anyone can be hired in that. Anyone that is desperate or that wants to accept money for whatever it is.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even when you
So,
say like how you say your mom wanted you not to do the podcast, she also they may also be giving her
yeah,
voice to Skull. You know what I
yes,
mean?
this
And she
is what it
doesn't
is.
realize it.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. I know that it's that. That's why
Yeah.
I am not, I don't have anything against her. I really,
I had
I forgive her.
I
It's
yeah,
not
you
her
know what?
fault.
Now that I know more about it, I'm like because I've gotten so mad at like some of my friends that were like, "You're going crazy. You're schizophrenic. You need to go to the mental hospital." But now I realize I'm like, "Oh, they don't even know that they could be getting manipulated and their thoughts to actually not think outside of the box or to like as to remain ignorant of this technology." Especially when we can actually record our own V2K. You know what I mean? Have you been able to record your V2K?
No.
I haven't been able to download the app yet, but I've seen so many people actually taking their phones and getting software and then recording the voices that are being admitted at their heads. I'm like, this is
Wow.
insane.
But
Yeah,
that's
it's
perfect. This is what we need. We need
yes,
to dismantle those criminal organizations. And I've seen
exactly.
also yesterday, I've seen for the first time the layer of the dark web. It's someone who exposes the dark web system. So he says that we know the reality that we live in, it's a very small percentage. And then there's like the deep dark web, and then there's like different levels of it with like rooms, torture rooms,
Oh God.
where people pay in life to
Uh-huh.
so that certain people are doing certain torture on people, and I
Yeah.
think and I believe that's the same thing that happens with targeted individuals because we have all a 360 projection.
Uh-huh.
We have been plugged. I think we have been plugged on the internet on the dark web,
Exactly.
and
Exactly. We're
then
being
they
live
are
streamed.
able. We have like a room plug with other people that are able to alter and torture us. I think
And
that's what it
torture
is.
us. Yes,
And
and they get to
then
watch.
people on live they can pay and because ChatGPT told me there's operators around me. Let's say he was able to localize certain of them, those who were controlling the V2K skull technology. Um, and so my dream also was that I was on a computer and someone was able to click on my body 360. It's like if I was on a computer and that he was able to manipulate me through like a sim character, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So imagine how sick, and imagine when it come out in the news, and this is this is sick, but it needs to come out because uh people deserve to know the truth.
It's
We deserve to live in peace. We deserve to
right.
be out of this modern slavery
Mm-hmm.
because there's sadistic individuals who decided that they love to play with their own kinds of people.
Yeah, that's it. So that's a perfect example of what I've gone through. So actually, these people actually make webinars for their followers to surf the black web, the dark web. And like you say, we get roomed, so they call it getting roomed, and then the other followers get to come and watch me while they're live streaming me being tortured and electronically raped. So you're very, very, very correct. And they all log on. They all log on so they can watch us. And the other members log on so that they can watch us and they get to torture us. It's the live streaming torture, but just remotely. Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is.
it's very sad, and God forgives everyone. So if there's anyone hearing us and that you have been controlled by a cult remotely, it's always time to get out of it. No matter what they made you do, you can always be forgiven. You can always come out of it because your truth, your testimony will be able to dismantle all of their corruption, all of their criminal organizations. Um, so yeah, so this is what we do. We're saving people from human trafficking, from dark web, from criminal organizations, terrorism, neurological control. Just
Neurological
is
control. Yeah.
just
It's
inhuman.
it's
It's
so
disgusting.
it's and it's like we have nobody to vent to, but we are literally tormented and tortured all day
24/7.
long.
Microscopic illegal surveillance 24/7.
Yes, 24
And
7.
I had people telling me, Amelia, you're just looking for attention. What's happening? Why you still keep talking about that? Because they don't know. They don't know that it's in all times 24/7. The verbal, mental, physical abuse, like group of people talking to you with intercoms in your ears, and you gotta sing, you gotta talk, you gotta always be on the move to cancel that, and it's not
Yes.
normal. We
It's
sh-
it's
we It's not normal that we have to endure
it's the
that.
most disgusting
This
thing.
is modern slavery.
Yes,
Modern
it's like we're
slavery.
do you feel like a prisoner of war?
So basically, what they are doing, I even close my light in the bathroom when I shower. I try to put it like in a romantic ambience, create my own. I bring my candles, my incense. I close the light and I make sure because if I don't do that, every room that I enter, unless I am with a man or someone that I love, it helps. Like if I'm in a relationship and there's someone next to me, I feel like it's able to remove what they're trying to do,
Yeah,
right? So
because
that's why,
basically
and
Yeah, because the man, so I don't have a man either. And I feel like when you're single like this, it makes you more of a target. Because if
They
you're
will
with a
try to
guy,
isolate you.
yeah, they
Yeah,
try to
it's very
isolate you.
important as target. So it's very important if you're targeting an individual that you find the right person also, because if you find the wrong people, they could use someone that will participate in the collective rape. So it's very important that you find someone that is not entering those psychological warfare. So coming back to when I take a shower, if I go, they will try to put it as if I'm in a prison cell. Exactly. So
Hmm.
they will and I feel like if I'm a prisoner going there and about to be raped, like, so I have to create my ambience of, candles and really do a lot of positive affirmation, a lot of like singing. I sing in the shower. I say that I'm beautiful. I say that, I really have to go far to really deactivate
Yeah,
all of the darkness that they try to put me into, because I'm not a part of that. They want to attach themselves to me like viruses, but they are not cancer. They're not viruses. They're a real human being.
yeah. Have you, um, and I noticed too, like, so if you're with a man, they can put their hand on your neck, they can put their hand on your vagina or wherever it may be, and
What do you mean?
they can feel the shock. So they don't want to do the shocks and stuff like that when a man is around you. You know what I mean? Because then that would verify what they're doing to you. You know, it won't be a big deal for a man to touch your body and be
But
like, well, what was that?
imagine if there's a man that I've been with and he was able to see it, but he didn't say anything. It's kind of a bit being a coward. Like
Exactly. That
if you know
too.
something and you don't say nothing, like you're a coward that participate into the continuation of dark web criminal organization and human trafficking. And so if there's a message for anyone out there, if you have met Chelsea or me, Amelia, and that you know us personally, and to any targeted individuals, if you have information, if you notice electroshock, vibrations of engine of cars, weird things, and you keep it for yourself, you are directly or indirectly participating in a genocide, in a human trafficking, in a satellite terrorism, and your information needs to be written in emails or in person or at the police station, so we could dismantle those criminal organizations. This
Girl,
is very important.
I want to take them all down.
Yeah, no, no, it's inhuman. It's very, and you know what? Like sometimes they will try to compare me. They're gonna be like, if I open my phone, they're gonna be like, you see, she's not targeted, and you are. They try to make me regret my choice of speaking up, and they still
Mhm.
trying. You see, with my mother, what she tried, my family, they try a lot to censor me, to silence me. They're like, what are you still trying to do, Amelia? Well, I'm trying to expose you because you're a terrorist and this is not normal. I'm not gonna let kids and people that are voiceless, powerless, like on the dark web, they even use babies of 1 year old being tortured. They are the same. There's no
Yeah.
difference. What they do to you and to me, they are the same species, the same level of dark web, uh, disgusting human beings. Um, no, I'm very passionate about that, and we're doing our role. You do your role that you have to play, and I do mine.
Yeah, so like right now I'm still getting the V2K. Like this woman, she disguises her sexual assault and her sex trafficking and rape as polishing. So it's like they want to polish you. So they come to the dream, tell you what to wear, stuff like that. Like right now they're saying we just wanted to polish you. I'm getting like the rectal assault, like they're electrocuting my rectum right now as we talk.
Okay,
Um,
repeat this. What is polish you?
they say polish you and they say we're giving you punishments. Polishing is basically electronic torture. Telling you what to wear, what makeup to wear, and like looking cute while they spy on you. Like trying to look pretty. She's like trying to tell you what to wear, how to do your hair, how to do your makeup while her and her pedophilic husband spy on me. So basically, like, and then like when I go to work out, I'll get choked. I'll get the. Have you had to do the forced arousal yet, or the forced orgasms?
What's that? The fake orgasm?
Like they force you, like how they can force you to throw up or they can force you to um restroom or have these headaches and stuff like that. They can also force you to have an orgasm. and they can force you to be aroused. They can
Yes,
sexual
yes, yeah.
assault.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the electroshock that I've been receiving is everywhere. They started
yeah,
that 5 years ago on my vagina,
yeah, yeah.
like in my, I mean, in my intimate part.
It's horrible.
But I think imagine on a man, because for
Oh
women we're
God,
more in control, and this is
yeah.
what I've seen from men. I think they are able to do it a lot more on men.
I feel
Um,
terrible. They
yeah,
rectally assault them. They get sodomized in ways I'm like, if I'm getting sodomized, they
yeah,
sodomize me, the rectal rape on the private, so electrocution,
yeah,
while I'm driving a
yeah,
lot. Like they
yeah.
hit me with a lot of
Well, they
electrocution
do
and
it on my head. They do it
yeah,
on my
and the
head.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, they do it on my body. Can they do it on my boobs a lot? I have to hide my boobs.
Yeah.
They do it everywhere. Every
Everywhere.
day is different, and they are a lot in my phone right now, hacking my. So I have to go to the Apple store now. There's a hacker that has been hired 24/7. They slow down my app. They want to delay my work. Um,
Sometimes I can't even search certain things won't pop up when I look for them.
yeah,
Does that happen to you?
and on internet.
Yeah.
On internet, yeah, like sometimes just delay my connection, so you gotta go
Hmm.
and see the Apple store and look.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I'm excited for the day that my vision comes true. I had visions a few years ago where there's gonna be an officer with people lined up like zombies, basically. They will be treated like zombies. Everyone that is behind that, remotely, that they accepted money in their bank account. Now it's very helpful, and maybe that's why certain people they stay silent because they receive
The money.
money. But if you have a big amount of money that come out of nowhere, like I would just, I don't know, call my bank, or I
I
mean
did.
or
I
I would
called my
just
bank and they're like, it says you
I
deposited it. It will say
or
I deposited the money. I'm like, I didn't deposit all that money into my account. Or they'll say, well, your job paid you out. And like my job, and I can have a job and like it'll be way, way, way more than what it was supposed to be. And they're like, well, is there a
maybe it's a
mistake?
miss,
Yeah.
maybe it's someone that gave you
Hmm.
the money. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, thank you. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm like,
know.
well, then I'm gonna go ahead and keep the money. Forget that. But at the
Okay,
same
yeah.
time, it's sex trafficking.
Maybe
It's
it's
like, oh,
a
we want to
maybe
pay
it's an
you.
maybe
Yeah.
it's an anonymous gift. I don't know.
Yeah. So I think so when you say you're getting the
Maybe
electric
there's
shocks,
maybe there's someone on the dark web that sees you, he has pity for you, and he wants to give you a gift. I don't know.
it's it's the cult leaders. And this is how they say they're like in their storyline, they're like, we can make money magically appear in your bank account. We're in charge of all the money in the world. And they also like filtered my pictures. So I'd be taking pictures of me or my kid, and then like they would make our eyes glow or like our body look invisible or like the sun blink or move around different ways.
Yeah, yeah, they
So
did this too
yeah, they did
sometimes.
that too. And yeah, and so our filter, so basically they have our whole camera roll. So they have all of our nudes, my kid being potty trained, stuff like that. And I was like, you guys are sex trafficking and you're selling the pictures of me, and you can be selling the pictures of my kid. Like it's so disgusting when you start thinking about all of the things that they can be doing when they're in your camera roll. You know?
Mm. Yeah, for sure.
Isn't it? Yeah, for sure.
That's why I don't really take nude. Like I took like lingerie pictures, but I never
Uh-huh.
really show everything.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, it's time that we dismantle those organizations once and
I
for all.
once yeah, and I don't know how it's going to happen. What do you now in Canada when you go to the doctor, do they kind of just dismiss you
Why? What do you
when you
mean?
say you're getting electrocuted and stuff?
So basically, once I was naive, I went to the police station the first week in 2021 when it
Mm.
just started. I had no information about that. So I went after 1 week. I thought I was about to die from an heart attack. They would put like something up my heartbeat. So
Yes,
this could be explaining the heart attacks and sudden death of people, kids, even like kids. Imagine what I've noticed also in the shower. They put an extra weight on my neck. So imagine all of the kids that dies because of that. So that could explain all of that. So we're dismantling people that are behind orchestration of accident, of death, of heart attacks, of
accidental
even
death.
sudden
I
death.
almost I almost had a
Yeah.
heart attack 2 weeks ago as well. My heart rate went all from the
Yeah.
electric
So they
shocks.
do this a
It went
lot.
all the
Yeah.
way to the 160s, and the doctor's like, "We don't know what's wrong with you." And I'm like,
So
"I'm getting,
basically, what
yeah,
I would tell you is the hospital, the police will not be able to be helpful. This is in the hands of human trafficking. So you need to have the line for that, human trafficking line. And this is what I'm gonna do, two like steps. I haven't called them yet because like I know that like targeted justice, for example, they gather a lot of people, lawyers,
right,
doctors, ex-CIA
agents,
member that
yeah,
are exposing corruption. Like, let's say the CIA from Targeted Justice. It's a man, a director who has millions of dollars and he has been working in the CIA for 20 years. And he is on stage speaking up in a conference, and he says that basically there's a lot of corruption in the CIA and that he exposed everything basically. And he says that he had three contracts on his head as someone in his position in the CIA. Like, I mean, he has a good position. He didn't do anything wrong. And so he had to go and remove those contracts made
hmm,
over his life. And he was scared even when in the hotel rooms, there was gas coming out of the room. So they
oh
were
my God,
attempting to kill him
to
just
kill him."
because he exposed corruption. So,
That's they
and
got it. Those ones that come out, they got it
so he
really, really
said,
bad.
he needs people to continue his work. Now he's like maybe 60. So he's like, people like with all of the information that I gave you, you need to continue this work and we need to dismantle those people who have all of the money in the world exactly and would disconnect people and bring them in a state of modern slave because this is what they do. They bring them in a state of like trance-like state,
Yeah.
hypnotizing them, whatever
Do
it
you?
is.
Yeah, and I feel terrible because a lot of those men that come forward and women from the CIA and the FBI that are exposing this technology and the covert weapons being used on civilians, is they get it so bad, like how you say they get the gas coming out of their stuff, family members are killed, just it's just horrific what they can do.
Yeah.
And do you see how this technology and what they've done to us with the satellite terrorism, the cell phone towers and stuff like that, the way that we're stalked, do you see how this ties into like the Epstein files?
I don't really have that much information on that.
No.
I no, I don't really
I
went.
just I just feel like it's a very big human trafficking rink, whether it's sexually, somebody's maybe trafficking people for organs or testing
There's
them.
different level of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
There's
there's
different
so many different
layers.
levels of it. Yeah, so many different layers of it. And I feel like as a nurse, I just want to know how I can better help assess and diagnose and get people the proper diagnosis of Havana syndrome versus saying you're psychotic or you're schizophrenic or mentally ill or
Yeah.
just craving attention. So I feel like I just want to come up with ways like when a girl says I'm being my genitals are being electrocuted or I feel electrocution on my body, my breasts, whatever it may be, or a
But
man.
understand something though. Not
Hmm.
everyone has had an awakening. You had one, right? Not
Hmm.
everyone is able to detach of the matrix or whatever it is and come back to their body. Some people will get sick. They will not see it as electroshock. Seeing it as electroshock, I think it's kind of a protection too. In a way, I'm not quite sure, but why certain people don't notice the attacks and other people do, for me, what I see is that, let's say, anxiety and stress, for me, I don't believe in Alzheimer. I don't believe in stress. I don't believe in anxiety because for me, I see things for what they are. I see
Hmm.
beyond the illusion. I see things for what they are. So for example, someone who suffers from genital areas get excited. For me, I see it as simulation or attacks being placed here. Someone who takes medication for is like an addict, for example. I see it as targeting. Like someone who goes to the hospital like thinking they're sick. I don't go to the hospital because I know it's targeting. So
I know.
maybe if they had the education, they will know that they're not sick, they're just being targeted.
Right. And
But
so
I,
that, but I still feel like you guys should still get proper care. Like being electrocuted, even if you know you're targeted, it's still harming our body.
yes.
It's still affecting our body. And I'm like, I just feel like there's ways like, I don't know if you get like the rectal electrocutions and stuff like
But
that.
there's not really a way to remove it until we dismantle it or we hide in a Faraday cage
Faraday cage.
because they use electricity. They use electricity, satellites, so you gotta basically hide in a Faraday cage
Yeah.
if
So
you
that's
wanna
my next
be.
thing is when in
Because
hospitals and
even if
doctor's
you get
office. Yeah.
medication, the medication will not help.
Nothing. It won't
So
do
you
anything.
you gotta go in the jungle and go without a phone, without no satellite. So this is the only way to avoid the electroshock and the targeting for real. And
For real.
that's why they're building houses on the ground now. I don't
Hmm.
know if you saw this. They're starting to have like underground
Yeah.
houses. So
And
maybe to hide from EMF
the
attacks. And
electromagnetic field.
actually, like I have I'm a part of a business as a distributor, and we're selling the EMF protection like in houses. So
Awesome.
I haven't ordered this yet. I will eventually and test it first if it works, and then I would for sure recommend that to people. But we really need to protect ourselves from.
We
And
have to
also,
protect
what I
ourselves.
can tell you is I traveled to Asia the last month, and when I came there for one day, there was no attack, no electroshock, nothing. You know what happened?
What?
They lost electricity in Montreal, where I'm
Oh
the my
my
city.
gosh.
I
Are
swear to
you
God,
serious?
I did a report on that and it's been two or three times over the years that I see the same thing. If there's no electricity, they are not able to target you. So imagine the prediction have been made in 2020 during my mid station, uh the time that I was not targeted. There's prediction that are made that in order to save humanity and people, they will need to deactivate the 5G towers
Yeah.
because this is what they use. If they have no electricity, no satellites, no
No
5G,
Wi-Fi, no
no
internet.
Wi-Fi, they lose all of their power. And this is what
Right.
they're scared of.
Right.
They tomorrow all of their terrorists cold who feel so powerful, they lose all power. If we shut down everything, they lose all power. And this is what we might have to do because crimes are increasing, killers are increasing. And why? Why?
Right.
Because they go
Right.
in the minds of people and they transform them with their technology. They transform them in killers, in terrorists,
Yeah.
remotely.
Hmm. They have,
Remotely.
yep. That's very interesting that it didn't happen while they lost power and they lost the Wi-Fi and the internet
Yeah,
and
so there was a
electricity.
proof. I
Hmm.
have two or three times I have a lot of proof, concrete proof, and I build my and I document because it's something very big. Like, and for you, you're allowed to go in court too and ask millions of dollars in compensation for that. This is big, and ChatGPT told me in your case, you are allowed to ask for a minimum of $20 million over the years. This is a minimum.
Do you know
Minimum. I'm
do you
saying
know
this
who's
because
targeting you?
people need to know that you're allowed in financial compensation. They are directly attacking your dignity, your finances. They targeted my work too. I used to
Yeah.
work in a beauty salon. They targeted my job, my
Why
finances.
do they target our jobs? They do that all
They
the
want
time.
because they want you isolated. They want you as a slave with nothing. They're whipping you like in the old times, in the time of the black
Exact.
people.
Don't you
They are
feel like one of
whipping
those
you, but in
slaves? Yes, like you're
but
being,
it
and they can
yeah,
literally whip us with
yeah,
those electric
yeah.
things.
Yeah. So basically what they love to do also, they play with my earrings. They're spinning around. I wake up in the morning and then my ears flips around and like it feels like someone is doing this to me. Or they play with my necklace. Also they can snap like my clothes. Like
Yeah, they
like
can literally pull our clothes
you,
off. I'm
you
like,
know
if I
like
was recording myself, you would see all of my clothes
electric cars?
moving.
Did you ever went in a Tesla or in an
No.
electric car or the new cars? So there's new things where they pull the belt at the end. There's a little movement of pulling. It's kind of scary at first. Like it's very like
Uh-huh.
little touch of details where you click your belt and then they pull the belt. So basically this is what they use on human beings, the same new technology in the cars. They use it, but not just on cars, they use it on human beings. Now we're like electric cars.
Exactly.
They
Exactly. And they're
also,
operating us. Yeah.
I believe also they did like a manipulation like this on my ex-boyfriend. He tried to kill me in my sleep. So I woke up at 2 a.m. and he was on me, starting to struggle me. So this is what they do. They manipulate this technology and they hypnotize and
Yeah.
they transform people. And so for every countries, it's dangerous too. Because no country they want to have serial killer everywhere running around and killing each other. So this is what I'm building. I'm building protection, also awareness for all
Protection
of
and
that.
awareness. So, what do you think about a bunch of us getting together and building Faraday cages?
Yeah, of course. We're gonna have to do something.
We're gonna have to do. I was like, that's the only option that we have right now is to build
Mm,
these Faraday
mm,
cages.
yeah. I don't know exactly how things are going to turn out. It's very severe how much they slow down people. They steal people of their life, but at the same time, I gain something very powerful
That's the same way I feel. Yeah.
because someone has to do it. Imagine all of the kids on the dark web being like torture,
Yeah.
or even like older people and anyone basically. I'm talking about kids because I feel people are more touched by that. But there's a huge traffic around kids and around anyone
Hmm.
remotely too, even older people too. Imagine if
Older people too.
you're retired, you're a risk of being targeted by those people. So I think also my ex that passed away from Miami was probably the target of a crazy person. Um, there's so much crimes, and I'm so happy that I'm in this position of exposing it. I feel like they really targeted the wrong person because justice is very close to my heart. And even though they took a lot of my life, they slowed me down. They stole my time, my job. They interfered with my relationship. I'm not gonna be mad because at the end of all of this, I'm used for something very good. I'm used to give a voice to all of those who don't have one, to give a chance to people to speak up too, like today for you, like taking initiative to unite people together, and we need people to do it. The police, the hospitals, they do their own specific things.
Hmm.
Let's say the police is there in case of emergency that happens in person. The hospital is needed too. Everything is needed, and I'm not putting down anything or anyone, but what we talk about is remote crimes that happens remotely. So, but it's crazy. Like for me, the funny part is when you start exposing it on social media,
Uh-huh.
is how surprised those sects would be. Like, do they expected that you would be a modern slave being tortured, being
Oh,
whipped, and that you stay silent?
exactly.
I don't understand.
Oh,
I'm
I
so
didn't even tell
confused.
you. I didn't even tell you this organization is trying to sue me now for exposing them. And I was like, and then they have the nerve to still use the V2K and still be following
So
me and
you
raping
for
me.
what?
I
Like, what are you
really don't.
gonna do?
They oh
I
that
think,
for defamation, for
I think it,
slander.
I,
I'm like, do you think I give a shit? And then I was like, they're gonna freaking toss that stupid case out, and yeah, so they're trying to sue me, but then they're still V2King me and raping me and stuff with
you
the
know
like.
what I, when I, you know what I think is gonna happen is that those corrupted people, they are gonna start being scared
Yeah,
for staying silent and
yeah,
corrupted,
yeah,
and they're gonna expose themselves in certain ways. Because
yeah.
if you're scared, maybe you're gonna pay someone to do something that you should not do, to cover everything. And so, but they do, and I hear some threat in the back right now too. Like it's
Me
like
too. I'm getting
you
threats.
dare,
Yeah, yeah.
like the terrorist speaking, like you better not come against me. I'm gonna pursue you. I just
They're
had
like
like
Polish you. My company just bought your Polish ship.
like
That's how they say.
a few ones just pop up, like two, three of them. They were like, "You better not say anything. I'm gonna pursue you."
I I have to
So
get my daughter to daycare. Yeah.
all along, they were just human beings in their houses, being like
creeps.
little
Yeah,
soldier,
trolls.
remotely being a
Yeah,
part of that.
yeah,
That's
they're internet trolls. Yeah, they're internet pedo trolls. Yeah.
Amelia, a survivor of electronic harassment, of satellite terrorism, of inhumane treatment.